This is Vanessa Zamora. We're at PubCon Las Vegas 2009. Joining me now is Aaron Kronis of Wpromote. You're the director of SEO, correct?
Yes, I have been there for 2 years.
Aaron is actually speaking. This will be your first time speaking at PubCon?
First time for PubCon, yes.
Okay, and he's speaking on SEO tools and tips? Or
Well, it's SEO, SEM tools and tips, whatever you can come up with that fits into that realm. There's a lot of people on the panel that are well known, like John Henshaw has the Raven Tools Suite, which is probably somewhere on one of the sponsor boards around here. And then obviously SEO Moz, who we learned a lot of stuff from using their pro membership and things like that. So I'm going to talk about different ways to utilize a lot of the tools that are out there, and even from some of the people on the tool panel. And then I'm also going to talk about a tool that we're going to release, which is a Firefox extension that is going to really help people quickly identify where a website is, like right now with terms to like search, like how many backlinks and things like that. But just the idea is making a really nice interface for it that also can serve other purposes down the road.
So what are the current tools that you actually use?
Well, one of the biggest ones I'm going to talk about in my presentation is going to be actually Google, which sounds kind of lame, but we're all trying to get into Google with all of our clients. We want to make sure that they're indexed properly, ranked properly, and things are working. So one of the things I do is use Google's tools. Google's feedback is probably the best, the most accurate feedback you're going to get about what's wrong, unless you're using their top index query search area, Webmaster Tools, which is always way wrong. But there are some things in there, like analytics is super important. Learning how to tell from 1 month to the next whether you've gotten more long-tailed phrases being indexed as opposed to before, like when you're just trying to figure out, oh, well, they're doing well with these keywords and these long-tailed phrases, but if the search volume isn't there, what's really happening for your clients, trying to delve into being a little more in-depth with the analytics reporting and things like that. There's a lot of things I'm going to touch on in the presentation that you have to wait for the presentation to hear about it. So.
What about these people that aren't able to view the presentation?
Well, they can always get that from Wpromote.com. It's going to have it listed on our blog, which is so we'll have it up there.
So over the course of the past couple of years, there's always changes in search. We've seen social media sort of take off now. What are the biggest changes that you've seen?
Well, the ability for someone who has a lot of Twitter followers to just send out one link and have all these people suddenly go to their website is unbelievable. And it's kind of just, it doesn't really matter what the medium is, but anytime some celebrity says something, people will go buy their stuff. So it's kind of along the lines of traditional marketing as well. People sort of need to think that it's not Twitter doing it. And one of the things I learned being at World Expo last month was that I don't really care what when you tweet meaningful stuff. And what I like to see at World was all these bloggers that really cared about their content. It was really nice. So like the bottom line is Twitter out something that's meaningful, which means that the link you're giving goes to a page that isn't just something designed for rankings or gaming the system, and make an awesome blog post that people want to read. And that's just really the way to get ahead, is continuously develop and create great content. Like you're doing here, you're making videos for the sites and you're spending the time to create content. People want to watch this stuff because they want to see the real, true people who have to say behind the scenes about what's going on. If you're just, taking some cat pictures and sticking them together and putting it on some website, that's funny and everything, but it's not real content. Well, it can be in some, joke sort of arenas, but when it comes to like serious bloggers, like guys like Darren who does pro blogger, I only, I guess how would you say, I plug his sites because I think they're always really good. I don't do anything like to help other people out unless I like what they're doing. And one of the biggest things I got from Chris Brogan's talk at the Blog World, his keynote was great. Really, the humble thing comes through. Share what other people are doing. Don't share what you're doing, because other people will share what you're doing anyway, because people really want to hear their name. I've heard that quote that in any language, people will hear their name is to them the most beautiful sounding thing, right? And when you do an interview, it's better to, or if you're doing some sales training and stuff like that, you learn that you want to let the other person, the customer, talk as much as possible and listen. People like to hear themselves talk. So even though I talk a lot, I have a bit of a, I can just go on and on here, I understand that. So.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So I lost my train of thought now. I was going to ask you, so if there was somebody just getting into the internet marketing space, what's the best piece of advice that you could offer them?
Well, when you say getting into the internet marketing space, do you mean like a company that's just decided we're going to start, using social media, or do you mean like someone who's got their own product? Like I kind of would need to know.
Well, as an individual or as a company, I'll let you comment on whichever you have a response for.
So first of all, they should try to use what they already have. Like if you already have existing relationships with other vendors, you want to try to give the person who's doing your blog outreach, like for example, when I do SEO, I have a person who's in charge of link building, and that person's job is to go out and do online PR, get blogs posted about our clients to get links, because we do link building by doing blogging essentially. And so you want to leverage all the relationships that you can. So we give them questionnaires to find out what kind of stuff we can use. And I would say to this person that's coming to me, I would say, hey, what do you already have going on in your industry? Do you have, like, you go to conferences, do you do things, you have people who are your good clients, you have references, testimonials. And if they're completely at zero, I'd be like, okay, well, we need to sort of build up some outside of the internet sort of thing going on first. Figure out what your business is about and do like the real research, not just figure that, oh, let's just have an automated Twitter account and have all these people following it and doing automatic DMs, because that's just a waste of time. I mean, it'll grow a little bit, but it's just really not effective.
All right. This is Aaron Kronis. Thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the show.